What's up, guys? Clutch Neck Thursday. We're going to give you guys a bit more information regarding the Element Lacrosse Onset head. First off, before we dive into this, I thought about doing an updated review of the head, but I figured I wouldn't. Simply for a couple reasons. One, I already did a fairly lengthy review on my channel a couple of months ago. Two, now that Element Lacrosse is in full swing and they have heads in production, and maybe by the time this video is uploaded, they'll have them for sale. Mitch, who's my best friend who made the heads, gave out 20 of them to a bunch of people everywhere. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks there'll be more reviews, and I feel like those reviews will give you guys a better look at the Element Onset through other people's eyes as opposed to myself. I love the head, but I'm a little biased towards it simply because my best friend's the one who made it, and I've watched him do it for the last 2 or 3 years. And physically holding a head that your best friend makes is very cool, and I don't want to necessarily persuade people and whatnot by being biased by it. But the original review is a very full-on review. It's the exact head that is now finished. There's a couple things I'll touch on that aren't in the review, but basically, if you want my opinions on it through a non-biased area, I would check out that video. If you're looking for other opinions and reviews, just wait until more people post reviews and stuff on Instagram. I'm sure there's plenty on its way. But a little update. So the head I did the review on, it wasn't the final plastic. It was the black one, which held up really good, but eventually would shatter. So this is a new plastic, and they tested it out, and we got to mess around with it and use it, and it works really well. They haven't changed anything in the head since the very first one, besides changing little small features, so a bigger throat, a little bit tighter of a fit in the throat, as well as changing the hole here. They put more material in there, but otherwise it stayed the same. Little extra updates for you guys. The Element Onset takes dyeing very well. If you're someone who dyes lacrosse heads or is looking to dye lacrosse heads, the Element Onset, it works really good. And what's interesting is the plastic they use has a very high melting point. So when you leave it in dye and take it out, usually even if you leave a head in the dye for a minute and you pull it out, it's very flexible. It's almost like a limp noodle. But if you use the Element Onset and throw it in there and pull it out, it remains very stiff, which is really good. The only issue with that is it does take dye a little longer to take effect on the head. So this is a black, white, neon volt dye, and the neon volt took about 7 or 8 minutes using lax dip, which is a little unusual. It usually takes about 2 or 3 minutes, but it took just a little longer, and black took just about 12 minutes. So usually black over volt's a little difficult because it's a neon color going to a very dark color, but it worked out pretty well. And honestly, after pulling the head out just to test it, I took it and I was flexing it, and it was almost the exact same stiffness as a brand new white one, which is really cool. It shows that the plastic takes a lot of heat before it starts to be malleable and flexible, which works out great for dyeing. It does take a little extra time, but playing in the summer heat, this coming summer and spring season, if you live somewhere that's super hot, your head's not going to get all loose and wobbly on you. It's going to stay relatively stiff, which, it's unlike any plastic I've ever seen in a lacrosse head, which, originally really concerned me because it was so stiff and it had no give that's why they were breaking and basically shattering. But now they have give to it, but it's still relatively stiff. Like, I'm trying fairly hard, and it's not really moving a whole lot. So other than that, guys, the Element Onset is finalized. The website is element-lacrosse.com. It should be live hopefully in the next week or so. If you want more information on Element Lacrosse, definitely check out Red Star Lacrosse should have a video, Spartan Strings, Greg from East Coast Dyes at some point should have a video. There's a couple other smaller places and smaller people per se who will have videos up. But definitely check Instagram. Element Lacrosse is doing some really cool things. My best friend Mitch, he's designing this head. He has 1,000 of them being produced and made to him, so he should have them ready to go by the end of next week or this week, depending on when the video is uploaded. Not only that, but just the things he's doing with it. He's doing 3D printed ball stops in different colors, which are really cool. He's doing a custom box for every head you buy. So if you buy a head, it's going to come in a nice cardboard Element Lacrosse box, which I think is super sick. Like, no place does that. Obviously, if it's in retail stores, it won't be in the box. But if you buy it directly from him, it comes shipped in a custom box the way you want it. We're working on getting some custom stringing options going for you guys as well, some custom dyes, and hopefully I'll be able to start dyeing these up and offering them on my website. But that's pretty much the only update I have for the Element Onset for you guys. The head is finalized. The plastic is great. The plastic takes a little longer to die simply because it has a very high melting point. But with that being said, using in the summer heat is not an issue. Using in the winter is not an issue at all. It does get a little stiff in the cold, but since the plastic is so, I'm not an engineer, I don't know the word, but it doesn't break. Like, we went outside in 20-degree weather and was bashing on walls and doors and stuff, and it had no give. It just wasn't breaking. It was staying the exact same. So that really excites me. I think a lot of you guys will like the Onset. There's something in it for everyone. In between the max drop offset point here, you can have a low pocket. But with the return of the scoop, you know how it drops super low here, then comes up higher, and kind of juts up. That's going to allow for maximum shot power and maximum just power overall, maximum feel really. So you're cradling the ball and your pocket's sitting, you know, right here under the shooters, and you crank it back and you let it fly. By the time it gets from right here where the ball is to about the scoop, it's going to shoot out just a little faster, and you can really feel it, you know, when you're playing either box lacrosse, field lacrosse, shooting with friends. If you string a good enough pocket in this, and it's a pocket that works for you with enough hold and enough whip, you can really feel the extra power and the extra velocity you could potentially get from the Onset. So overall, I mean, this head is just, it's really cool. It's a better first head than most companies do, and I'm really excited to see how this takes off, and hopefully you guys are too. Like I said, I'm not going to do an update review at least for a while, simply because I don't want to sound biased since my best friend made it. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. It's a little difficult when your best friend makes a head and shows up at your house with a bunch of them for free. So check out other people's reviews once they're live. Definitely follow element_lacrosse on Instagram. They are blowing up. In the last week, they've gained like 300-400 followers, and they're still growing. And so many people, as of this week, are receiving their Element Onsets from him just to test out and review. And so far, it's gotten nothing but great reviews. So excited to see how this works. Now I want to talk to you guys a bit about Iconic Lacrosse and the donation aspect. If you're heartless and you don't care, you can just exit the video. But if not, like I said in my Iconic video, I like to donate money, especially Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I like to do something and give back in some type of way. And this year I decided to do custom heads, apparel as well, and some other little things here and there. And I'll donate some of the proceeds from that. But there's about 10 days left for October, and I want to donate money October 31st, which is the very last day in October. So what I'm going to do is show you guys the stuff I have left, tell you guys how much money has been raised, how much is going to be donated, hopefully, as well as kind of, you know, just show you guys what I have left from all that. So the Iconic apparel, I have a couple of sizes in the breast cancer shirts. I think long sleeve I'm running very low on, but short sleeve is, you know, I have a decent amount left still, which is fine. Normal Iconic apparel, I have about 8 hoodies left. I have a bunch of black and gray shirts, but those will just be here for as long as possible, really, so I'm not too worried about that. But basically, the hard goods I have left, where most of the money will be made and donated, is right here. I have one. What is this? Oh, this is a Fuck Cancer prequel. Obviously, it says it up here. Sorry for the language. That's just what it is. White to pink fade, very simple, nothing too crazy going on there. These ones I dropped the price just because it's a very simple dye, and I think it's, you know, it's a good way to raise money. So I have one of those left, a pinked out Mark IIV. This thing's pretty cool. It's a very bright pink, and it's just a solid color. There's nothing crazy to it. It's got the pink Hero 2.0 limited edition mesh. Pretty generic pocket for what I do. One nylon, one straight. But this bad boy's up for grabs for relatively cheap, since, you know, the dye job didn't take hardly any effort. I'll show those last. Then I have this one. This is the Iconic prequel. I did 2 of them. I was going to do one for myself and one for a buddy, but I decided I would sell one because I have a bunch of other designs and ideas I want to do. So if you're interested in Iconic Lacrosse and the cool logo and stuff up here, this could be a cool little keepsake or something cool to have, you know, if you're all about the Iconic Lacrosse and how things are. But, you know, if this doesn't sell and I end up keeping it, no worries whatsoever. I really like this, but, you know, just throw it up there just in case someone's interested. Next, this is the one I just did up the other day. I posted on Instagram, but you guys probably haven't seen it if you don't follow me on Instagram. It's a Maverick Kinetic, just all white. Didn't want to dye this one. I want to keep it nice and simple. Hero 2.0 with a P34 college legal pocket using rolled fire thread shooting strings here. Absolute ripper of a stick. I mean, ball's going to sit nice and low. When you go to shoot, it's going to sit in the middle pocket. And then once you go to really let one fly, it's going to sit here. And the rolled fire threads are really going to let it snap out. But it's got P34 top string, almost the exact pattern. I don't know how Lyle Tomlinson does his P34s and the Kinetics. I've never seen one, but I have a rough understanding of it. It has the love knot going on down here. So that one's just kind of a fun little project to string up. Next, the holy grail of the breast cancer awareness stuff. Whoever buys this head is going to get a really sick, custom, one-of-a-kind head. Obviously, the dye job's not too special, but the dye job mixed with the mesh, mixed with the strings used, it's just really cool, and it's one of those that's fairly unique. So it's an epic prequel, my favorite head as of current. Sorry, Element Lacrosse. I don't want to be biased and say I love your head because people. Element Onset's my second favorite. Prequel's first, but it's an epic prequel with a pink and white elephant dye job or elephant print dye job too, which I absolutely like. This used to be my favorite go-to dye job because it's a simple, easy pattern that takes quite some time, and I think it looks really cool. But it's a white and pink one, starting with the very limited edition Throne Rose fiber mesh, and then also tied up with Throne shooters and the light kit. So Throne Light was around a while ago. It's still around, but you don't see a whole lot of it. And the colors it actually playing with it, the sun reflects off of it. It's almost like a mirror or a shiny object. And also, when you take a picture with it with a flash on, it just looks so cool. So that's the holy grail of this month's donation process or this month's custom gear. Pretty generic pocket, nothing too crazy, but this one's really cool. So those are the custom breast cancer themed heads I have left. Next is the coolest thing I think I've ever been a part of and been able to do, which is the Joker collection. I was going to do a video on it, including apparel and stuff, but I couldn't really think of something to do Joker-wise on a shirt that also implemented iconic lacrosse, and having, a bunch of Why So Seriouses on a shirt or ha-has and the iconic logo is almost too much to do. So I decided to just keep it nice and simple and just go with heads and gloves, which are so cool. If you don't follow me on Instagram and you haven't seen this before, you're about to be mind blown. But anyway, some of you may have seen my Joker prequel I have for myself, but I did 3 of them, so I have 2 of the exact same left, ready to be purchased. It says Why So Serious in the scoop, and it's green to purple fade with some pink splatters and some neon green splatters and a bunch of ha-has all over the head. These ones took quite some time and quite some effort to do, but they look really cool, and I'm really proud of them because it really just kind of looks and ties in with the Joker. There's a bit of marbling spray left on them, but that's easy to take off, and I usually take off the rest once they sell. But next, with those, about a month and a half ago, so under 60 days, I messaged some of the guys over at Epic Lacrosse about getting custom gloves, and they said it's usually for a team or some type of organization. I told them I didn't have a team, I just had a really cool idea. And I had the money, and I wanted to get them done, and they helped me out tremendously. And they truly brought these gloves, they brought them to life and made them exactly what I was looking for. So if you haven't seen this before, these are the Joker Integra gloves. These are by far the coolest pair of gloves I've ever seen. So they're all 13-inch, and I have 6 pairs left. I had one for myself, one for my buddy, and I sold 4 of them already, and it's only been less than a week. So if you're interested in these, I'd pick one up as quick as possible. Unfortunately, no money from these will be donated simply because they did cost a lot of money to make. And after keeping one for myself and giving a pair to my best friend, I want to break even and maybe make like $40 off these so I can buy dinner or something one night. But realistically, the way this worked was I wanted a pair of gloves, and I had just enough money for them. So I basically spent, we'll say a decent amount of money for a pair of gloves, and then just want to make my money back. But these are one of a kind. You'll probably never see anything like these again. These were very difficult to produce and difficult to come by, but they made them work, and they made them perfect. So it's the Epic Integra glove, all 13-inch. It's got green and red here on the thumbs, which I really like. It kind of has a small amount of red mixed with neon green, which are 2 very ugly colors together. But if you know that they're Joker themed, tied in with some purple and white, they look really cool. So it's got green and red in the thumb, all white fingers up here, mostly purple here with a neon green to kind of tie it in with the red, red Epic cuff, and then right here it says Why So Serious on the actual cuff part itself where the logo goes, and these are just too sick. I love the Integra gloves. The palm itself is basically 2 pieces, so it's got 1 piece for the major of the 4 fingers in the palm, and a thicker piece here where the thumb is, just because that's usually where gloves rip, and the thumb needs the most protection. Not lots of breakage here in the thumb, so you have a lot of mobility, and then the gloves themselves, having a seamless palm with nothing to block the stick or the way you touch it it's awesome. It feels great. The cuffs themselves are nice and flexible. All there is a Velcro strap, and if you don't like the cuff, all you have to do is take it and Velcro it up like that. It stays out of the way. Oh, that's awkward. I put it on backwards, that's why. There you go. See, stays out of the way, and you can move your hands just like the Rabel gloves. But Joker gloves and Joker collection are also live. Like I said, very limited. Once the Joker gloves are gone, they'll probably be gone forever. You know, I don't. 12 pairs. Take away the 2 that me and my buddy have. That's 10 pairs out in the world. You know, it's really hard to come by, and one of those things that it stands out. You know, it's not a team glove. It's not a professional team. It's not your favorite college team. It's an idea and a theme in a glove that are just so unique, so powerful, and so cool that having that all together it just looks really cool, I think. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. It's been a lengthy video. I didn't know how I wanted to tie in everything and try and raise money for October and whatnot, but I also want to give you guys an update on Element Lacrosse since he doesn't make videos, and I have been helping him a little bit on social media. But Element Lacrosse is in full swing. We have heads coming this week or early next week. They will be available very soon. Once they are, I'm sure you guys will all know from social media or YouTube videos or whatever it is. But for October, I'm trying to raise $2,000 or more, and so far we're at about almost $1,600. So that's like $1,580, I think we're at. So that's why I want to do a video show you guys the stuff that's left. So hopefully I can raise that extra $400 or $300 some dollars. Or I'm bad at quick math, but you get the point. I'm hoping to raise that money so I can donate at the end of the month. $2,000 is usually my goal, and last year we almost made it. This year I'm hoping we make it and finish it up. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy. Let me know how you feel about the Element Onset head, what your opinions are on it. And if you guys have checked it on Instagram, let me know if you're interested in picking one up or not, because I think they'd be really cool, and I think that I could work with Mitch in making a really cool, I guess, stock stringing pattern / dye jobs for him. I don't know. Crazy cool plans we have. I just have to sit down with him once he gets stuff and figure it out. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy.